Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the, I don't know, whatever this is, the Friday edition, the TGIF, everybody. It is Today in Sports Betting. And today in sports betting, I've got my partner. He's on the run. He's holed up in New Jersey, somewhere in the swamps of Jersey. How's that going for you, buddy?
The swamps of Jersey. I don't know if you've ever actually been to New Jersey, but I haven't really seen a swamp in the area.
That's a Bruce Springsteen line, my friend.
Yes, I'm saying that I don't know if that actually applies to the sake of where I'm at right now. But, yeah, I'm in a hotel room.
Ready to get on the space shuttle.
Wait, what?
You look like you're on the space shuttle.
I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I've been called worse.
So we had a couple of interesting games yesterday as Tulsa. They just don't feel comfortable, Scott, unless they're 14 points behind. I don't know what their story is, but
they're the third-string quarterback.
They had to get rid of their second-string quarterback, because he was awful, so he got hurt too. And then they brought in the third-string quarterback. He actually appeared to be competent, so it ended up going okay. They covered most of the numbers. I had it with my premium plays officially at 6.5, so I got a bad number.
We went on air, I think it was 5.5 for Tulsa.
Yeah, it was 5.5 or even 5 down by game time. So I think most people probably covered that number with the miracle backdoor from Tulsa. So congratulations. And my play of the day yesterday for the freebie, we had the Cardinals and the Seahawks to go under the number, and that happened. So
you had to sweat out an overtime draw late, though.
Had to sweat out an overtime draw, and I was really torn because on the premium side we had Arizona +3, so I was really kind of.
You were hoping Arizona scored and then went for 2.
That would have been ideal for me. Mm-hmm. Yes, that would have been, and that would have been not something Kingsbury would have done in a million years.
Of course not.
All right, so we've got 4 games, Scott, of varying interest here tonight. Maybe a good game or two. Although there's
one game that's guaranteed to not be good, but that's a separate story.
This has the potential to be 4 blowouts. It really does right here. Let's start with the ACC battle. Syracuse going up against Louisville. Scott, Louisville is up to a 19-point favorite right there. What do you got here, my friend?
So for this one, I'm personally going to lean to the over. If I really had to look at it, I know Syracuse has kind of been a little bit MIA. They haven't played in about a week or so, and when they do play, they're not very good. Meanwhile, Louisville has been struggling as well, especially since they started the season ranked in the preseason top 25. They've been terrible, but their defense has especially been bad, as they've allowed at least 31 points each of their last 2 games. They gave up points in bunches. Syracuse defense is not much better. They are terrible against the run, which is exactly what Louisville wants to do, as Louisville has the ability to run with a variety of sources. So for me, I think Louisville should end up rushing for probably around 250, maybe even more. Syracuse, they can score at times. They're not very consistent with it, but against Louisville's defense, I think they should have some success. I think 55 is too low for these 2 teams, so I'm going to lean to the over.
Yeah, I'm with you. There. I would even I tend to lean Louisville too, but I like the over better as a play.
As much as I love backing a 2-6 team -19.5, I'm going to lean to the over on that one.
Yeah, I know.
Louisville's a lot better than Syracuse, though. But if you really want to look at it, Syracuse is allowing 223 rushing yards per game, and Louisville's averaging 201.6. Plus, Louisville, after they got smacked last week in the middle of that game, though, their starting quarterback Cunningham did have 197 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So they're going to run it down Syracuse's throats. I don't think Syracuse will have any answers. But 55, I think Louisville could score 35 alone, and their defense is not good. So I could see both teams potentially getting to at least 28, with Louisville maybe scoring 40-plus. I think this game get into the 60s.
And Louisville was missing some serious talent last week. They were without Javian Hawkins, their running back, and without Tutu Atwell, who's certainly probably got a future in the league on Sundays. So they'll have those guys back after Corona week. So I expect this offense to be humming. It really does come down to the Louisville defense and whether you think they can just even slow down Syracuse. Syracuse
doesn't really need to be slowed down because they're going to get in their own way. But I think you'll agree that Louisville's defense is not – like if I told you Syracuse is not going to get to 21 points, you'd probably tell me, I don't know about that one, because Louisville's defense is that bad. I think Syracuse can score at least 3 touchdowns. I don't think they're going to keep it competitive, but I think they can score, at least to some degree. You agree with that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is a Syracuse team that they've been inconsistent. I mean, they put up they haven't scored more than 21 in a month. So I don't know how excited I am about this spot here. They've still got quarterback problems, but yeah, I think Louisville's going to do most of the heavy lifting here. So I'll play the over with you.
I think Louisville should score at least 40. So that's why I'm kind of feeling that way, because I do believe that Louisville should do most of the heavy lifting. But if they end up scoring 42, I can't look at it under, because Syracuse defense against this rushing attack should have serious problems for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree. All right, so let's move on. Next game on the card, Scott. It's Purdue and Minnesota. This the Big Ten special. First time we've seen Purdue on national TV.
My question for you is, how much water is currently in the boat that PJ Fleck is trying to row? Because have they sunk already, or are they on their way down at this point?
It's a heavy boat right now, buddy. It really is. I don't know what has happened to this team. They've been inconsistent on offense. They've really had Ibrahim has really been just about the only bright spot here.
Even Bateman's had a pretty quiet year.
Yeah, I mean, Bateman's been fine, but nobody else is contributing. What's that?
Projected top 15 pick, you're expecting better numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody else has contributed. Tanner Morgan's been below average, and that's the good side of the ball, because this defense has been atrocious, Scott. They're giving up 35.8 points per game in 4 games, and that includes a game against Illinois, which may have the worst offense in the Power 5, and they give up 14 to Illinois. So that's factored in there. And they give up a BCS worst 7.6 or FBS worth BCS. I'm showing my age. At FBS worst 7.6 yards per play. I don't see how they get the stops here against this Purdue team. This is another situation. This was my play of the day, and I've got the Purdue team total over, but I also like the regular over here as well. You got any thoughts on this one?
Well, for this one, I think it's pretty tricky, because I don't know who's going to be the quarterback for Purdue in this game. It's either going to be O'Connell or it's going to be Jack Plummer. So you're going to have to wait and find out because of the health issues, or the potential health issues, of Aiden O'Connell. I don't know if that really matters, because Minnesota's defense and their pass rush especially have been non-existent. So Purdue should be able to do something offensively. They ended up losing last week in a tough game to Northwestern, but Northwestern is pretty good if people have not been paying attention to that. Minnesota got smacked against Iowa really, really badly at home by 28 points.
They did nothing. They did nothing right there. Absolutely.
They were terrible. Now, the question here is that money has come in on Minnesota over the last, I'd say, hour or so. Total has just completely gone up from 57.5 to 60 or so. I'm going to lean to the over, because I don't think Purdue's defense is that much better. I think Minnesota's defense is obviously terrible, but Purdue's defense is nothing to write home about either. I think Minnesota should probably score 30 points. I think Purdue could score 35. I think this game turns into a bit of a high-scoring affair. I'll look at the over.
Okay.
You have any thoughts on the total there?
Yeah, I do. I like the over. I don't like going with the move.
I don't like the value, because you already lost about 3 points. But at the end of the day, would it shock you both these teams get to 30? No.
No, not a bit. Although Minnesota's offense is going to have to be a hell of a lot more efficient.
Yeah, I've seen Purdue's defense, though. I'm not a big fan of the Boilermakers defensive unit.
All right. Side, what do you like?
For the side, I am actually going to lean to Minnesota. I'm not thrilled by it. I'm not going to play the side. But the fact that Minnesota's look so terrible and that they're only 1.5-point underdogs, I think is pretty suspect to me. I'm going to look at Minnesota.
Okay. All right. I got my I do.
I think that line looks a little bit odd based on how Minnesota's played lately.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've got a premium on this side, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I do. I will say that this line move has been a little bit surprising, as we've moved a 1.5 towards Minnesota. It was three. It was 3 on the overnight, and now it's 1.5. So if you like the Boilermakers, hang around, see what happens to that line. You may get a better number. And there's simply really no reason to, if you're going to play the Boilermakers, you might as well just go ahead and play the money line at -115. You can lay 1.5 for -110, or you can take them straight up for -115. So
I can't argue with that. I mean, that's just if you're actually going to be laying spreads instead of just taking money lines and not sacrificing 5 cents,
right,
just take the 5 cents. It's much better.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, and now the game that everybody's been waiting for, Scott. This is going to be a real barn burner here, as in the fact I'd rather burn my barn than watch this game. This is going to be UMass and Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, Scott.
I have a play of the day on this game, so I'll let you have the floor on this one.
You took a play of the day on this one?
Yep.
I also have a premium on this game as well.
Okay.
I will say this: the number's gone up. It was 33 yesterday. A little bit of money is coming on Florida Atlantic, taking it to 33.5.
Where do you think this closes? 35?
I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I don't think it gets to 35 because it's kind of a key number there with
34.5.
34.5 wouldn't surprise me a bit. No. The best thing about this one, Scott, is the total. It's 51. So if you project that out, the team total over on Massachusetts, Scott, it's 9.
It was at 9? I saw it being at 7.5 or 8 yesterday.
Yeah, it's going up, buddy. It's 9.
Okay.
It's 42.5 on the side of Florida Atlantic, and it is 9 on the side of UMass. Scott, can you describe how bad this UMass team is?
They're averaging 190.5 total yards per game.
That's pretty good. Yeah, they've scored played 2 games and scored 10 points, and both of the points were set up. Now, neither touchdown came via the long play, but both were set up by.
By the way, you say neither touchdown. You
or neither score. Sorry, neither score.
I was going to say because they only scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah, the one of them was set up by a halfback option pass. They got the ball down to the 5 and then hit a little doinker for a 5-yard touchdown pass. The other one was set up by a flea flicker for about 40 yards, and that ended up being a field goal. And that is the summation of their offensive prowess so far this season. And now they're playing a team that's got a real defense, Scott.
They didn't play as good defensively as they should have against Florida International, but you had a couple of big plays there. I know International had a 1-play, 77-yard touchdown drive. They had another garbage time 60-something yarder as well. Atlanta dominated the game. International had a couple of 1-play touchdowns or so, but Atlantic's defense is very, very underrated.
Yeah, well, they are. They're fifth in the nation in scoring defense. Scott, they're giving up just 13 points per game. They have a couple of guys who are going to flat get after the quarterback. They've got 13 sacks between them, Leighton McCarthy and Jalen Joyner. They are first and second in Conference USA in sacks with 7 and 6, respectively. I don't know.
You have any thoughts on the total?
I don't see UMass helping out much. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't touch it. If I was going to play it,
I think the only way I'm looking at for a total is the UMass team total under. I think that's how I'm looking at it, but I'm not thrilled with it.
No, you're not thrilled with playing under 9. I get that. Yeah, I don't want any kind of over money here at all. Florida Atlantic overs 42.5. That would probably, if I was going to play a total,
I'd look there too. Yeah,
that'd probably be the one I'd play. I'm loath to take under 9, Scott. I'm just I'm not sure I can do it. But
I think this game could follow a similar script to the Georgia Southern game. It's just going to be 41-0. Just get out of there. Call it a day.
Yeah, could be. It'll be interesting to see what they can do with them. You know, because you watch their film, and the UMass defense, I mean, they've given up a lot of points, but they've got some players. They've got some size. The problem with this defense, obviously, is they're on the field all of the time. Mm-hmm. You know,
but Atlantic also has the defense that's good enough to score. So
Yeah.
Atlanta's
Yeah.
defense might outscore UMass's offense in this game.
That's very possible. Now, that's a bet I would be interested in taking because I think that's certainly a possibility. I think Florida Atlantic could put up 2 touchdowns here as far as on the defensive side of the ball goes. I'll watch this game for the same reason. A lot of people watch NASCAR. You're just looking for wrecks. This is a UMass team that was horrible last year, and then they got way younger.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 33 guys that are either redshirt freshmen or true freshmen on this team. So, God bless you, UMass, for coming out and playing. But I don't. I see no path for them tonight.
Yeah, my prediction for the game is pain.
All right. Well, we're going to finish up with game out there in the Mountain West with a team that I thought was going to be a lot better, Scott, after they opened up against a great victory there against Navy. It's Air Force and New Mexico. Of course, New Mexico is the team without a home. They've been banned from playing in their home state, now play everything in Vegas. What a nightmare. We've had to move from Albuquerque to Vegas. Oh, no, not that.
Surprisingly, they actually played better in Vegas.
Not surprised at all.
And they come Nevada. Well, I lost the play today on that one.
Air Force has Nevada didn't look great. Nevada
they were awful. They looked really, really bad.
Air Force, this has been the biggest line move of the day, Scott. This one has gone up from approximately 7.5 to 9.5. Now it opened big, it fell down, and then the Air Force money has come back. And I haven't checked, Scott. They may be getting their quarterback back because that was the reason that I stayed away from this game. There was so much uncertainty.
Who's getting their quarterback back?
Air Force.
I think the main reason why is also because of the fact that New Mexico's quarterback is supposed to be doubtful for this game as well.
I thought that was already baked in.
It could be. I'm just saying that there is a chance that maybe that contributed slightly to the point move as well.
It didn't sound like he was going to go. The thing about this Air Force team is they haven't been efficient. That they usually run kind of an interesting version of the triple option. Of the 3 service academies that run the triple option, Air Force has always been my favorite to watch because they run different motion. They run a lot of counterattack stuff, and they're actually able to throw the ball on occasion. They led Division I last year in yards per completion, which is kind of a weird thing, but when you think about it, not really, because nobody ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody's ever expecting Air Force to pass. So, at 9.5, can I get you to buy in on the Lobos, Scott?
Well, the question I have to ask you is Air Force. They haven't played in 3 weeks.
Haven't played since Halloween, yeah.
Do you think that is going to be a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I thought it was a good thing.
Yeah.
When they had a little time off.
They needed to kind of hit the reset button after the last 2 performances.
Yeah, they had 3 weeks off after Navy, and then went out and absolutely shat the bed against San Jose State, scoring just 6 points.
I'm going to give them a little bit of defense, though. If you look at who they've played so far, Air Force's schedule has actually been a lot tougher than people think it has been. They played against Boise, and Boise, of course, is still a very solid team. They got smacked by BYU, but their top 2 quarterbacks ended up getting injured and not playing. So I'll give them a pass there. San Jose State was the shocker, except they're undefeated, and they have a top 10 – they have like a top 20 rush defense, top 30 rush defense in the entire league, entire nation. They've been great against the run. So San Jose State might actually not be as bad of a loss as people think it is. You look at New Mexico, the thing about this team is that they're kind of built like Seattle defensively before yesterday because they're allowing 81 rushing yards per game, but that's also because they're allowing 410 passing yards per game. So why would anybody run the ball on this team? So their defense isn't any good, but it looks decent on paper against the run. I think Air Force is going to kill them, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think New Mexico's any good.
Okay. Now
you're going to be – yeah, Air Force is so consistent. You know they're not going to turn the ball over that much. They're going to stick to the game plan, etc. New Mexico, I know that they were competitive against Nevada last week. Props to them for that. But I'm going to lay it with Air Force because with the backup quarterback in for New Mexico, this team can't throw. And I think in a game that's going to be between 2 separate ground games, I'm going to rely on the one that is always in the top 3 in rushing.
Yeah, these games have been absolute shootouts. Air Force has put up 42 or more in 5 straight games in this series. However, in those 5, New Mexico's covered 4 of them.
The spreads are
But
usually also in the 20s, but yes.
I want no part of this game with a spread below 10 points. I want no part of this game without Tua. What's his name, Scott? Quarterback of
Tuloti or Tavaka.
Tuvaka, yeah, is the quarterback there in New Mexico. Pretty good quarterback, not bad, especially for by New Mexico standards. Looks like he's going to be out another week. I don't want any part of this. I got no place anywhere here. You know,
It sounds like you're leaning over at 55.5. It sounds like
I was, but I don't think anybody can throw the ball. You know, historically speaking, yeah, these games have been in the 80s and 90s, but I want no part of it.
I think 55.5 might be a little bit too low, but I'm going to lean to Air Force. I know that they're 1-2 and people are down on them, and I had high expectations after beating Navy. San Jose State, undefeated. Boise State, still a solid team. You have two losses there that definitely are more understandable than they were a couple weeks ago. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, if I've got to lean, I'll play Air Force against New Mexico without their quarterback.
I trust Air Force more.
I think that's a decent play. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to play decent defense.
Mm.
And if New Mexico is one-dimensional, that's not going to be a good thing because they're not a great running team.
Yeah.
Give me Air Force. I'll thread the needle here. Give me Air Force -9.5, -9.5, and the under 55.5.
Yeah, I'll shop around. I still see that you have a couple nines, so I'll take the 9.
All right, very good. All right, bud. Well, like I said, not a great card here for tonight. What they make up for in quality, what they lack in quality, they make up for in quantity because we do have 4 games. I don't love any of them, but you know what? There's some money making opportunities out there. So we'll see what happens. I know you're on a bit of a vacation. You're out there and all the way over in New Jersey, and you're just going to be betting and playing poker all weekend. Are you staying there tomorrow too?
Yes, I am.
Okay, there you go. All right, so have fun. You know what? And we'll be back to talk with our best 3 college picks here on the next show as we do our regular weekend show. Anything else? Any final thoughts on these games?
No, I'm hoping some of them are more competitive than we're making them out to be. But at the end of the day, we're just breaking down the games, and it seems like they're hopefully saving some of the better games for tomorrow. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right. Of course, if you're looking for deeper dives into these games, there is just one place to go, and that is winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game every single day, and they are an invaluable resource when you're looking at these college teams. Maybe you don't know a lot about Florida Atlantic or New Mexico. Well,
but maybe you want to.
Maybe for some reason you want to learn. Winners and Whiners is the place to go. So make sure you get yourself over there. And of course, thanks for watching today. We appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, all that good stuff. And we'll just be back to do it again on the other side here in just a minute. So just click on the next video when you see it pop up. It's us. So enjoy. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, appreciate you being here today. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. Guys, have a great day, and we'll see you, just right around the corner here on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.